y'all, I'm Ellen. We've been super inspired by our journeys of self-healing and discovery.
And I'm Sam, and we want to share our experiences with you to help you get curious about yourself, reconnect, and get intentional about your life so you know what makes you happy.
Welcome to Woo New, the podcast.
It is such an honor this week to have Ginny Orenstein with us, who is a wellness coach. And both Ellen and I have had the pleasure of sort of crossing paths with you in the past. And so we are just so excited to have you here. And we couldn't be more grateful to have this conversation with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here and to reconnect with both of you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just so everyone who's listening has some background, I had the honor of participating in a couple of the Reiki sessions that you had done last year during COVID, and they were so powerful. And we were just talking before we started recording about how you and Ellen had also crossed paths in a breathwork workshop.
So divine. I love the connections and the sort of like reconnections that keep on happening.
Absolutely. It's meant to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think what would be really fascinating is, everyone, I feel like a lot of the people that we have onto the podcast have really inspiring stories, but yours is really, really special and really, really powerful. And it's a really great testament to sort of how Western and Eastern medicine can be used together to heal our bodies, but also how we have to be connected to our bodies and really listen to what it's telling us that it needs. And I know you sort of parlayed your doctorate in music from USC to becoming a coach who helps others on their own healing journeys. And so it would be great to just like get a little bit of background from you on sort of where this all started and what your experience has been like.
My experience started around the time of my doctorate. I became very ill. And for a long time, since 2003, doctors could not figure out what was wrong with me. I went to many specialists, and every time I would be diagnosed with costochondritis, which is just a fancy medical term for chest pain. And it was difficult when I was playing music. I was a professional musician. I was an oboist. And before I became ill, my lifestyle was very, let's just say that I was not listening to myself at all.
Mm-hmm.
My body would always tell me that it was tired, or if there was something emotional going on, I would ignore it. I would eat food that was very unhealthy, a lot of fast food. I rarely slept because I felt that career was very important to me than my own wellness and health. During this time, my father was very ill, and I was going back and forth from school with my brother, who was also doing his doctorate. This was at Penn State. And during that time, I had some traumatic experiences, and with not just with my dad, but previous relationships and stuff like that. And so I just threw myself into my work. Food was just to eat. I was smoking cigarettes. I was drinking lots of coffee and drinking lots of soda and rarely partied, but just was working all the time on my craft because I felt like I was behind, you know?
Mm.
So as I, went to USC to do my doctorate there, my master's and my doctorate, I was still doing the same thing. I was not listening to my gut. And I was really off my path. And my body just kept getting more and more sick. Doctors just kept prescribing prednisone to me and Flexerol, it's a muscle relaxer. And that would help with the flares that I would get. So between 2003 and finishing my doctorate in 2012, I was getting flares a couple times a year. And then my last semester of my doctoral degree, I was in my biggest flare. What happened was I felt so much pain around my heart. I couldn't lie down. It was hard to breathe. I was in so much pain. And I was married at that time. And my husband at that time, he took me to the hospital, and it was a very stressful time. And I think that's what caused my flare, that big flare at that time. And so when I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, they're running every test except for human herpes virus tests, which I found to be really interesting. But they tested everything else, from cancer to other bacterias and other viruses, of course, STDs. And everything came back negative. And so they decided, well, it's just something viral. And it's true, it was something viral. It turns out to be human herpes viruses, not the sexual transmitted kind, but the ones that are shingles, Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, HHV6A, 6B, 7, 8. So there's a variety of different human herpes viruses.
So you got tested for everything except for those?
Yes.
That's
wow.
so strange.
It is very strange, isn't it? And so when I got out of the hospital and I finished my degree, I was pretty much forced to quit. And I felt like I was at the height of my career at the time. I was teaching so many students, like 30 students per week, which is pretty unheard of for oboe players.
Yeah.
Most schools, they'll be lucky to have one. And for me, I had 18 in one middle school.
Wow.
And then I had like 10 at this high school. And then, I had other students around Los Angeles. So
you were basically teaching back to back to back. That's a lot of students.
That's a lot.
Finishing my degrees,
Holy crap.
And I was also like, I was being called to come and help over at Pepperdine and Azusa Pacific and Cal State Fullerton and Chapman. And I mean, I was very busy. and which of course, understandably led up to this flare.
When you say flare, did it show up as, is it like a physical rash on the body or?
So for me, a flare means pericarditis, which is fluid around the heart. I also had pleural effusion, which is fluid in my lungs, around my lungs.
Oh my God.
We had to get that taken out.
Wow.
It also, so it started like that. And then it started to become worse.
Mm.
And after I got my doctorate, then I moved to Denver because my husband at that time, he won a job with the Colorado Symphony. So I moved there for 1 year and tried to focus on my health. I would try and play the oboe every once in a while, and every time I would play, my pain would come back, and I would notice more and more joint pain in my hands. And of course, when you are going through something like this and you are at a point in your life where you're unkind to yourself and you're not listening to yourself, and it starts to take a toll on your relationships as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what happened. And we got a divorce amicably. I'm very grateful for that. And after that, I moved back to Los Angeles, and I was still getting flares, but this time it was starting to get worse and worse. By the time it was 2014, I was back here and I was going to therapy. I was doing what I can to help myself, right? Trying to get onto Obamacare so that I can see a specialist. And finally, by 2015, I saw a rheumatologist, and he diagnosed me with severe systemic lupus erythematosus. It was not through blood work. It was through, he clinically diagnosed me. So I had multiple symptoms of lupus.
Wow.
Wow.
So
And none of the other doctors had seen that.
Yes. It took 13 years for them to finally have a diagnosis for me.
That's so, man, I can't even imagine how frustrating that would be. I mean, that's such a long time to not know. I mean, we were just talking about Sam's dog and how Miko has been feeling so bad, and just our heart going out to Mika for not feeling well and not knowing exactly what's going on with her. But I can't have imagined like living with that for that long, that kind of a knowing.
Yes. It does take a toll on the mind, body, and spirit. It truly does. You don't recognize it while you're in the moment. Not as much.
Wow.
But looking back, absolutely, it was frustrating. It was hard. And even after getting the diagnosis, I feel it was even more frustrating. Because now you have to take many kinds of medication and find a suitable like dosage amounts that would work for your body, because the doctor doesn't really know. It's about trial and error. It's about trying medication and seeing how you react to it, right?
Oh, wow.
So for that first year, so when I found out, it was 1 month after my boyfriend at that time, he proposed. So it was my fiance. And as soon as I got the diagnosis, I was reading books, lots of books on lupus. And the ones that I was reading, I guess they were a little outdated, because they would say things like the lifespan of a person who, like of a patient, when they find out that they have lupus, is 5 years.
What?
Dang.
So I got very scared, and I started researching and trying to find answers on how to heal myself. So I was working on trying to find the right medication and trying different protocols, utilizing my diet. But there was a missing piece through all of that. And that was, I was still aiming for perfection. I was still aiming for pushing myself
Mm-hmm.
in a not so gentle way. And so because I was doing that, it was putting my body into more stress and more flares, even though I was on high dosages of prednisone and all these other medications I was on.
Yeah, it's like we forget how long it takes our bodies to get to that point, and then we feel like they should heal overnight as soon as we know what it is.
Right. It is a long process, especially when we don't have the right tools.
Right. During this time when you were basically kind of having to experiment with the dosage of these different medications, did any of your doctors offer any solutions around diet or anything like that that would support the medication or support your healing? Or was it strictly a pharmaceutical solution in their eyes?
It was strictly pharmaceutical.
Wow.
Wow. Did they tell you about the side effects?
Not really. I was taking gabapentin, and I was in so much pain that the doctor kept increasing it, and I was at a point where I was taking 1,200 milligrams of gabapentin.
Whoa.
How did that make you feel? Were you just like out of it the whole day, or were you even able to kind
No,
of do anything?
it was worse than that. It made me suicidal.
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus.
It made me incredibly depressed, and I started having suicidal thoughts to the point where I was even trying to take my own life. And my poor husband at that time, he was really protecting me and keeping me safe. And he was noticing it, thankfully, thank God, you know.
Yeah.
And he called my doctor and said, something's wrong. Turns out it's a rare side effect of gabapentin.
Oh my God.
So they took me off of it immediately, and all that stuff improved after I stopped taking it. So, but yeah, so as I was doing all this research, thankfully, getting my doctorate from USC, they teach you, it's a research university, so they really teach you how to research. So I'm so grateful for all those skills that I learned from there. And I applied it to my health. So I started researching, reading all kinds of books, trying different kinds of protocols. And I just took bits and pieces from everything and created my own healing way, like path, my own healing path. Trying other modalities. And I would say my mother is a huge advocate for Eastern medicine. Being of a Korean background, my mom it saved her life multiple times, and that's why she's such a huge advocate.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So during this time, my mom was having her herbalist. Like, I would fly back home and meet with her herbalist and get all these packages and fit them in my suitcase and bring it back. You know, like my suitcase Eastern medicine. I would bring it home, like bring it back, and I would cook it here, and it was it's like I felt like a witch in a way,
I love that.
boiling it up and then, making medicine out of it. So what I ended up doing was doing a blend of Eastern and Western medicine, and how I really learned that, through all my research, finding all these different supplements, herbs, plants that are medicinal. I guess you could call that Eastern medicine, yes.
Mm.
For some reason, I don't quite see it as Eastern medicine, but if you blend those two together, the Western and the Eastern, they can both live together amicably, side by side.
100%. Yeah.
And so that is how I healed myself.
Wow. How long did that take?
The last flare I had was in 2018 when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in my chest and spine.
Oh, wow.
So what I thought was my calling to be a musician was gone.
Mm.
I let go. I finally said, okay, because up until that point, I was thinking, how can I get back?
Yeah.
And I was still playing. I was playing with the LA Jewish Symphony. Like I could not give it up. And I was using a cane to get around. Like I was very sick. I was bedridden for 2.5 years. I had 2 brain tumors, benign brain tumors. I had a stroke.
Oh, jeez.
And all these symptoms of fatigue, rash on my face. I couldn't be out in the sun. I had to be completely covered up. I couldn't even walk from the bed to the bathroom. I needed assistance. I used a walker to get around when I was at my sickest. And just so many things, like I couldn't even control my bowels and my my urination. Just everything down there just wasn't working anymore. Like, I mean, it was just I lost my quality of life.
Oh, completely.
I mean, I couldn't even feed myself. I mean, it was, I look back at it now, and in that moment, yes, the struggle every day of fighting for your life, fighting for my life, And I look back at it now and I am full of gratitude. I really am. And seeing where I am today and all that research and everything that I've learned, I am applying it to my clients now.
Mm.
And so that's how, to answer your question, that's how I became a coach. And I was consulting people for free on Instagram for some time. And until I felt like I was ready to start doing it as my calling. And so after surviving my sickness, I felt called to help my brothers and sisters to heal as well through the means that I employ with great success.
Were you doing any sort of spiritual work when you were, like inner work, when you were, again, going through the medication and basically trying to figure out how to heal yourself? Or did that happen after you had gotten to a place where physically you felt well enough where you can I'm curious if that was like almost the doorway for you to begin looking within to see what was going on.
Yes. When we are sick, it is natural to do so.
Hmm.
When I was bedridden, I listened to a lot of audiobooks. So in addition to all my research, and this is included with my research, I believe, is the spiritual work that I did as well.
Mm.
A lot of Hay House books.
It's a good resource. It's a really good resource.
It can be, yes. And so I was starting to learn more about angels and more of focusing on my emotional trauma and healing that.
Mm.
And I started to get into meditations. And through the meditations and all the other healing modalities I started trying, it definitely helped me in my healing process as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like to think that I am bridging the gap between cold Western medicine and medicine that most feel are out of reach to them.
Mm-hmm.
Healing should not be a lifelong pain.
Yeah.
It should not. We are not meant to constantly heal. We are meant to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I am so honored that I can help people attain this state of health.
Yeah.
And that's why I love my job now. I love what I do.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you find any particular alternative or holistic modalities that resonated most with you, or that you find work consistently with your clients?
Oh, yes, yes. What I have seen work and what I do with them, I focus on diet, supplements. That's the physical. I work on, and that's all based on my scientific research and experimentation, using my body as the experiment.
Mm.
So basically, I am the lab. I am the researcher, I'm the lab, and everything I was doing was hypothetical, was the experiment.
Mm.
And what I found was that it was applicable to my clients as well. So the diet and the supplementation. Then there's also the emotional. Some clients are emotionally fine. Some clients are not, as they have had a lot of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so I incorporate breath work with energy work. And this helps them to release the blockages that may be causing them physical pain and emotional pain. After I'm done working with them, then I use Reiki to help them heal physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. As they are healing themselves, I give them my yoga nidra which is on Insight Timer app. It is specific for those with chronic illnesses, chronic pain, chronic stress. They use that on a daily basis to help them with their healing on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual level.
Can I ask what type of chronic illnesses are you seeing most in those that are coming to you?
Yes, they are the human herpes viruses.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That is what I healed myself from. I found out that I had HHV3, which is the shingles virus, HHV4, which is Epstein-Barr virus. I also had HHV6B, which I got from my mother, and HHV7.
Wow.
And I had strep bacteria.
Wow.
That must have been so painful.
It was painful. And these viruses they can be deadly. For some people, it can bring them cancer. But a lot of our health issues is due to these viruses. And luckily, there are ways to kill them out. And that is what I do with my clients.
Wow. It's really, this part of the conversation is really making me think about my little sister, because she recently had a baby, and at about 2 weeks before her maternity leave ended, she got shingles from the vaccine for COVID. And she called her doctor to ask about what she needed to do for the baby, and the doctor had made a comment that she was the second mom that day that she had to talk to about getting shingles after the vaccine. And it's like these illnesses are everywhere right now. And then just amplified by the extreme perpetual stress that everybody is living within. Have you seen like a large increase in your client base, especially over COVID in the last year?
I am very fortunate to have clients come to me and work with me. COVID does seem to be, that has been coming up a lot in our sessions. I do feel that in order for the world to heal from this virus, we must be inoculated against it. I encourage everyone to receive the vaccine when it is their time. When we have other viruses or pathogens in our bodies, it may trigger a reaction in those viruses to cause symptoms like your sister.
Wow, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
If you've had chicken pox, it's still in your body.
Yeah.
Unless you actively kill it out. That's why many times we have them as children, and as we get older, like 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s or so, that comes back, and they call it shingles. But it's the same virus. It's just been dormant in our bodies for a long time. Because viruses have different stages.
Right.
They're either in the lytic stage or they are in the dormant stage. So lytic is when they are active and replicating. So when we have these viruses in our bodies are doing its very best to fight it. But sometimes the virus can be so aggressive that the body can lose.
Yeah.
But there are ways where we can. What's beautiful now is that people are looking into natural ways of healing. And that's how we can kill out these viruses, including COVID. But it is important to get the vaccine when it is the time to. I believe that the common fear of death, that all of us have this common fear of death. And when we have that common fear, it can unite us to be a stronger human body. During this time of strife, we are seeing how the human spirit is shining. We are working hard to survive. We are seeing it now. We are working hard to go back to normal. So know that during these times, or any times of strife, that the human spirit will always shine. I believe that science will flourish and light will be found in the darkest places.
I'm curious if all of your clients or the people that come to you, if they are all open to the emotional and spiritual work that is, in my perspective, so necessary, that goes hand in hand with the physical healing.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Or do you ever encounter resistance there?
I do encounter resistance. It takes faith to heal.
Right.
What do you say to people who believe that physical illness is purely physical illness and nothing to do with the spiritual aspects of our being?
I say nothing to them.
Yeah.
What am I going to say? Right?
Yeah.
That is because they are closed. What can I say?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a lesson that you have to be open to on your own journey. Absolutely.
When I work with my clients, there are some who are resistant, and they're like, oh, I can be creative with whatever, all of this. Like, no, you cannot. And I have some clients who do believe, or I should say, I had some clients who believe that the physical pain that they were feeling was still something physical.
Yeah.
When in actuality, it was emotional pain manifested into physical pain.
Absolutely.
That is why when I talk to my clients, I express to them the importance of working on both physical and emotional at the same time.
Yeah.
So that they can completely heal and reverse their symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because otherwise there's just so many layers of buried trauma or buried conditioning or emotional pain that it's like it'll just eventually resurface again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the energy work that you do with your clients, and what just really curious about what your first personal experience was with it, and how your clients receive it.
Which energy work are you?
Well, I guess both, because you do the energy work with the breath work, right? And then the Reiki as a follow up. Or do you ever separate those?
The breath work is always first.
Hmm.
Because Reiki is not used to release, it is used to regenerate and to heal.
Mm-hmm.
I had some participants in the group Reiki sessions, Sam, that you participated in,
Mm-hmm.
who expressed afterwards, they would email me and they would express afterwards that some of the symptoms from their chronic illnesses felt more intense after the Reiki. That is because Reiki is not meant to heal those pathogens.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So it's like you were using the breath work and the energy work to expel those pathogens, and then the Reiki energy to bring in that that healing and the regeneration. Is that correct? It's like an expulsion process almost, or like a purging process almost with the breath work.
The breath work and energy work is used to release. It has nothing to do with the pathogens.
Got it.
It has to do with emotional releasing. So that when we emotionally release, those physical symptoms manifested from that emotional trauma or blockage, whatever you want to call it, is released, and that pain goes away. The Reiki will help restore that, will help heal that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I really appreciate that perspective too, because I feel like a lot of times people hear the word Reiki or they hear energy work and they're like, they just assume that it's like a one size fits all band-aid.
Right, right.
But it's important to use it intentionally in a way that facilitates like true healing and a path forward, so that you're not continuing to run into the same issues every time stress flares up or emotions or anything like that.
Right.
Reiki is an incredibly powerful healing tool. It goes hand in hand with supplemental medication.
Mm-hmm.
All things are connected in healing, and Reiki helps to tie them all together.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We cannot live without the sun's energy. Reiki helps to harness the life force energy and apply it to healing. Reiki draws out what is stagnant and replenishes with pure, clean light, helping our cells to restore themselves fully. Reiki practice should be more widely used, for it is a vital tool in the health and wellness of mankind.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be overlooked as it is done by many.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know. And I'm grateful to be able to share my gifts with my clients.
Yeah. Wow. I just remember being so grateful for those sessions that you hosted. I mean, it was like, I just looked forward to them so much. And it was just like, oh, this is my favorite time of the day because I just felt so cared for and like loved and just soothed afterwards. I mean, you are very incredibly gifted, and I'm so thankful to you for doing that, especially at that time.
Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate helping you at that time.
Yeah.
I want to say, though, that Reiki requires special gifts, and only a few possess these talents. Someone who possesses light and a light worker are two different things.
Say more.
Do research before you commit to a practitioner. Very important. True Reiki is very powerful, and those who receive it will tell you that. It is not an overnight fix, but over time, its effects will magnify and the client's heart will feel lighter. That's why Reiki is so important.
Yeah.
It helps to release the emotional bonds that tie physical pain to our bodies. I encourage all my clients, once they have reached the right stage, to engage in Reiki practice. Everything is made better with Reiki. It is the missing link in most people's healing regimen. I love Reiki.
I love
it. It has changed my life, and I'm sure it has with you guys as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would like it to change more lives.
Absolutely.
It's a very important conversation to have with as many people as possible. There's something special about the connection between energy work and physical wellness. Everyone experiences energy transfer, but there is a disconnect in the harnessing of it. Reiki can change your healing path if you allow it, but you must be open to it. Energy work will not affect a person who is closed.
Yeah.
That is why I mentioned that before.
Yeah.
When you are open, you allow things to pass through you. And when you are closed, you are stagnant and health will not be attainable. If you are closed, you cannot heal. It is that simple. Reiki can help the closed if they desire it. But Reiki is powerful, and I encourage all of you to look into it. It should not be overlooked. Those who are meant to heal will find it. It is invaluable.
Yeah.
Is the combination of breath work and Reiki for you, was that kind of the magic combination that you experienced personally as you were healing? When you were experiencing all these different alternative modalities, like were those two, like the pairing of these two particularly?
No, it was many. So, as I said before, diet supplementation, meditation, like yoga nidra and mindfulness. I was doing sound baths. I tried so many different modalities like crystal healing and EFT, the tapping stuff, qigong. Being in nature was a big one for me.
Yeah. I can imagine, especially after being bedridden for so long.
Yes. Just being, Franklin Canyon Park is one of my sacred places that I love to go to.
Oh, it's such a good place.
It's such a beautiful place there. And I love to go there. And this is one area, like if you go down the road and there's like this creepy kind of looking house, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You walk past it. And like you can hear like the water running. And I just love that area when you're walking down and it's shaded and you can hear the water and the birds singing. And it's just so healing.
It really is.
Yeah, it's like transports you into a totally different world. So amazing.
Yes. But I used many modalities. But the thing is, with the breath work and energy work, I was just only doing breath work because there's no one who does energy work with breath work. That's something that I do.
Yeah.
I want to kind of go over some simple tools with you both.
Oh, we would love that.
Yeah.
And with everyone who is listening. So there are simple tools where everyone can access to call light into their healing. And this is very important. And if you are doing this with your clients, I suggest that you do this with them as well. Place a hand over your heart and say, I allow light in. You may say it.
I allow light in.
I allow light in.
Yes. I allow healing in.
I allow healing in.
I allow healing in.
And I release my pain.
And I release my pain.
I release my pain.
And breathe into that. Deep inhales. And when you exhale, let go. Allow the light to come in and push the darkness out. For darkness is pain. When you call light in, it outshines the darkness. Only then is healing possible. You must be full of light in order to heal. And Reiki is the best way to harness it. You can remove your hand. I am grateful I can share this with you and we can share it together.
Oh my gosh, that was profound. Like I felt a huge energetic shift as soon as we did that.
Yeah, for
Do this
sure.
with your clients. It will help them.
Wow, thank you for that gift.
Yeah, so beautiful.
If you are meant to heal, you will heal. Let Reiki be your guide on your path to wellness. Most people want to heal, but do not have what it takes to heal and grow disappointed in their inability to change. Reiki helps those with lower energy attain a purer frequency so that they too may have the possibility of health. You must have faith in this process in order for it to work.
Yeah.
Healing without faith is redundant. It is redundant. Yeah. When we are at our weakest, our faith is tested, and that is when it is pertinent to call light in. Your faith will light your way and help will follow. Reiki is just as important as medicine, for if your spirit and body are disconnected, the body will have no way of processing what you give it. Again, Reiki is the tie to the loose ends of health. It is vital. Energy work is vital for the health of our world. We are energetically disconnected. Once our frequencies unite, we will have healing on a global scale. I was drawn to Reiki because it is so vital, and the more light we can produce together, the better.
Yeah, this is taking me back to when Ellen and I's journey started a few years ago. I never had like a chronic illness, but it had been a couple of years where I was started with some numbness in my toes, moved up to my ankles, then it was my shins, and then it was my whole legs. Some days it was like I couldn't feel my ankles or flex my feet, so I'd scrape my feet on the ground and it was hard to walk. And I was always sick. And it was like looking back now and seeing how detached I was from my body. I'm like, I don't even know how I was functioning.
Yeah.
And and you're absolutely right. It was like this. Ellen tried doing Reiki and she was like, yeah, you should, just give it a shot and see what you think. And it was like my first 20-minute session totally changed everything. And of course, it was a very long journey after that. And I'm still very much on it and feel like I'm just starting still. But it did, it was like I had to have that experience because I had gotten to a place where I felt like so betrayed by my body. And now it like makes me sad because it's like my body was just screaming for help.
Yeah.
Our bodies usually are screaming for help. It is us, our egos, that do not listen. When we shut that ego down, it is then when we can listen and hear what our bodies are telling us. Meditation will help with that. But what's important is, with everything, or anything, I should say, moderation is key. Just because you're meditating multiple hours a day, every day, or however you may practice it, it is best to even do that in moderation.
I agree.
Yeah.
More is not better in regards to healing practices.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the one thing that through this truly incredible journey, I mean, your whole life is a full journey in itself, but in this healing aspect, this conscious healing portion of your journey, what is the one thing that has stood out to you as almost like a cornerstone of what you live by or what you honor now in your life, in your practice, the way you show up?
This will be my advice based on my experience. Be kind to yourself. Love the body you have been given. Thank it every day for what it does for you. Nourish it with the right foods. Expose it to the sun. Hydrate it with pure water and feed it love in the form of visual stimulation. Make peace a priority. Check in on one another. Love your neighbor. Be strong for those who are weak. And have faith that things will get better, for they will.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, this was so profound. I feel like I'm going to be sitting with this for a minute.
Same.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this. And
There is another thing that I want to add.
oh, yes.
I want people to know that healing takes time and it is attainable. Health looks different on many people. Do not compare yourself to someone else's version of healthy. Seek your own form of healthy. Listen to your body. It will tell you where it needs to go. That is my biggest lesson I have learned on my own personal healing journey. And I'm grateful to share it.
I'm grateful to receive it. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so, so much.
Yeah, I know. I'm just so honored to have this conversation with you. I'm so excited to share it with our audience. And wow, we feel so lucky.
I am so grateful.
So tell us a little bit about where people can find you if they want to learn more and potentially work with you, some things that they can do.
Yes. I have a website. It is www.eatpraylupus.com. And my Instagram is the same, Eat, Pray, Lupus, Lupus. So those are the two ways that anyone could find me. You can email me on the contact form on my website. You can DM me on Instagram. I have been taking a break from Instagram though, because I have been working with a lot of clients and wanted to really focus on their healing. Because sometimes when you're on social media, it does take a lot of your energy. It takes a lot of time.
It's very true.
So I am enjoying this time off.
Good for you. Yeah, it's so important to give yourself those breaks.
Yes.
But I do encourage
a lot of followers, but
no,
c'est la vie, you know.
I was going to say, I encourage everyone to follow you, because even I go back and scroll through your posts all the time because you post so much helpful information. I mean, just the other day, I was looking at something that you had put up about how there's an issue with omega-3 supplements where you can.
Are you talking about fish oil?
Yeah, fish oil. What is that? Mercury. Thank you. And about how like a really good alternative supplement for that is the vegan oil. And I was like, this is like, everyone should know this. So there's so much helpful information in there.
Absolutely. And that vegan is made out of algae. Sometimes it is seaweed. And seaweed promotes circulation, which is not good when you have active pathogens in your body.
Oh, wow.
Because these pathogens are blood pathogens. A lot of these viruses are blood viruses. We know that COVID is a blood virus. And so when we take certain supplements that excite our blood, it triggers the virus to replicate.
Wow. I had no idea. Yeah.
Yes. So when I work with my clients, I make sure that they're not using supplements that may contain ingredients that would excite the blood.
Wow, that's so helpful.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole point is to cool the body down and take specific supplements and foods that kill it out and flush it out. The research is all out there. You don't need to believe a medium or some kind of guru to tell you that. The science is out there. The research is out there, and that is how I found it.
I feel like that was a really divine message that was meant to come through for this episode. Yeah, I'm so glad that came up. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
But yeah, also a really great reminder just to look at everything holistically. Like there is no one answer to solving one problem. Like everything is connected, and it's so important to remember that.
Right.
Yes. It's so important to listen to our own bodies. Whenever I pick up a pathogen, and I just do wild blueberries in water. And it's like, normally you wouldn't think that it would taste good, but because the body needs it to heal, it's so delicious.
Wow.
I have noticed cravings, and just, you're absolutely right. It's like your body is just, it's just wanting it so badly, whatever it is that it's craving, or it's, that, like I crave kale often, which sounds kind of, like it's just really interesting to notice. Like there's moments where I feel like my body is just really, really needing certain vitamins or certain, just certain nutrients. Yeah, exactly. And that thing will taste so good.
Yeah. And also, like for me, a really big lesson too is listening to your body when something that's been tasting good, like an herbal tea, stops tasting good because there's something in it then that your body doesn't want you to have anymore. And so I employ the sway test a lot with that.
Yes. You do not, that's your body telling you, I do not need this anymore.
Yeah. And there have been times where I was like, oh, I've been drinking that every day for the last couple months. And then all of a sudden I'll do the sway test and my body is like, no more. I'm like, okay, got the message.
Yes. Yes, it is important.
Well, thank you again. This is so magical. We can't wait to share all of this information with our listeners. And we are excited to see what comes next. And thank you for sharing all of your wisdom with us, not just today, but across all of your platforms. There have been just really, really life-changing, honestly. There's so many important things in there.
I appreciate your words so deeply. I really do. Thank you so much for having me here today. I was so looking forward to it. to speaking with you both, and I would listen to your podcast, and the both of you, what you are doing is beautiful work. Thank you so much for the work that you do and for bringing light and for helping others on their journeys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Music for Woo New is composed by Adam Miller.
Yeah. 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 Oh, that's amazing. Did you find any particular alternative or holistic modalities that resonated most with you, or that you find work consistently with your clients? Mm. Yeah, I was reading. Sorry. Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. That must have been so painful. Hmm. Yeah. Wow. It's really this part of the conversation is really making me think about my little sister, because she recently had a baby, and at about 2 weeks before her maternity leave ended, she got shingles from the vaccine for COVID. And she called her doctor to ask about what she needed to do for the baby. And the doctor had made a comment that she was the second mom that day that she had had to talk to about getting shingles after the vaccine. And it's like these illnesses are everywhere right now, and then just amplified by the extreme perpetual stress that everybody is living within. Have you seen like a large increase in your client base, especially over COVID in the last year? Mm. Wow, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Mm. Right. Yeah. Abs- yeah, absolutely. It's yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is a lesson that like you have to be open to on your own journey. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, because otherwise there's just so many layers of buried trauma or buried conditioning or emotional pain that it's like it'll just eventually resurface again. Tell me a little bit about the energy work that you do with your clients and what just really curious about what your first personal experience was with it, and how your clients receive it. Well, I guess both because you do the energy work with the breath work, right? And then the Reiki as a follow up. Or do you ever separate those? Mm, mhm, mhm, mhm. Right. So it's like you were using the breath work and the energy work to expel those pathogens, and then the Reiki energy to bring in that those that healing and the regeneration. Is that correct? It's like an expulsion process almost, or like a purging process almost with the breath work. Okay. Got it. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I really appreciate that perspective too, because I feel like a lot of times people hear the word Reiki or they hear energy work and they're like, they just assume that it's like a one size fits all band-aid. But it's important to use it intentionally in a way that facilitates like true healing and a path forward so that you're not continuing to run into the same issues every time stress flares up or emotions or anything like that. Mhm. Yeah, that's beautiful. Hmm. Yeah, wow. I just remember being so grateful for those sessions that you hosted. I mean, it was like I just looked forward to them so much, and it was just like, oh, this is my favorite time of the day because I just felt so cared for and like loved and just soothed afterwards. I mean, you are very incredibly gifted, and I'm so thankful to you for doing that, especially at that time. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Say more. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. I can imagine, especially after being bedridden for so long. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, it's like transports you into a totally different world. So, so amazing. Yeah. Oh, we would love that. I allow light in. I allow healing in. And I release my pain. Wow. Oh my gosh, that was profound. Like I felt a huge energetic shift as soon as we did that. Wow, thank you for that gift. Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is taking me back to when Ellen and I's journey started a few years ago. I was, I never had like a chronic illness, but it had been a couple of years where sort of I was started with some numbness in my toes, moved up to my ankles, then it was my shins, and then it was my whole legs. Some days it was like I couldn't feel my ankles or flex my feet, so I'd scrape my feet on the ground and it was hard to walk. And I was always sick. And it was like looking back now and seeing how detached I was from my body. I'm like, I don't even know how I was functioning. And it, yeah. And you're absolutely right. It was like this Ellen tried doing Reiki and she was like, yeah, you should, just give it a shot and see what you think. And it was like my first 20-minute session totally changed everything. And of course, it was a very long journey after that. And I'm still very much on it and feel like I'm just starting still. But it did, it was like I had to have that experience because I had gotten to a place where I felt like so betrayed by my body. And now it like makes me sad because it's like my body was just screaming for help. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. Well, this was so profound. I feel like I'm going to be sitting with this for a minute. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. And oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you. Uh, yeah, I know. I'm just so honored to have this conversation with you. I'm so excited to share it with our audience. And um, wow, we feel so lucky. um, so tell us a little bit about where people can find you if they want to learn more and potentially work with you, some things that they can do. Mhm. Mm. Good for you. Yeah, it's so important to give yourself those breaks. But I do encourage, no, I was going to say, I encourage everyone to follow you because even I go back and scroll through your posts all the time because you post so much helpful information. I mean, just the other day I was looking at something that you had put up about how there's an issue with omega-3 supplements where you can I'm totally blanking on it right now. It's not magnesium. It's um, you know, yeah, fish oil. What is that? Mercury. Thank you. And about how like a really good alternative supplement for that is the vegan oil. And I was like, this is like everyone should know this. So there's so much helpful information in there. Oh wow. Wow. I had no idea. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's so helpful. Hmm. I feel like that was a really divine message that was meant to come through for for this episode. Yeah, I'm so glad that that came up. Thank you for sharing that with us. But yeah, also a really great reminder just to look at everything holistically. Like there is no one answer to solving one problem. Like everything is connected, and it's so important to remember that. Wow. Mm, nutrients. Yeah. And also, like for me, a really big lesson too is listening to your body when something that's been tasting good, like an herbal tea, stops tasting good because there's something in it then that your body doesn't want you to have anymore. And so I employ the sway test a lot with that. Yeah. And there have been times where I was like, oh, I've been drinking that every day for the last couple months. And then all of a sudden I'll do the sway test and my body is like, no more. I'm like, okay, got the message. Well, thank you again. This is so magical. We can't wait to share all of this information with our listeners, and yeah, we are excited to see what comes next. And thank you for sharing all of your wisdom with us, not just today, but across all of your platforms. They've been just really, really life changing. Honestly, there's so many important things in there. Thank you.